Our most valuable resource is without a doubt our time, and because of that, we have to spend as much energy as possible not wasting our time. The best tool for that is really just to create lists, checklists. This is the tool of experts, and there is a secret formula on how to get more done in less time with a little trick around checklists. I'm gonna teach you in this video. Hi, my name's Tyus. I make videos about freedom, and today we're gonna be talking about how to free up your time. If you want to live the freest life possible, hit the subscribe button below, because in these videos that I come out with twice a week, I share the best strategies, tips, tactics, and techniques in living the freest life you can ever achieve. In this video, we're going to talk about how to prioritize your tasks, how to structure your day, how to integrate it into your schedule, how to protect your time, optimize efficiency, automate your scheduling, which is my personal favorite. And I do this every single night. This is my nightly routine, my nightly practice, because it sets up my next day for success, and I'm gonna share that all with you right now. One thing that almost all successful people have in common is this nightly routine of creating a to-do list for the following day. I know that might sound drab and boring, but believe it or not, it frees you up for a lot of time. It removes tremendous ambiguity from your day. It just makes you know what you gotta do so you don't have to make those decisions during the following day and suffer from what's called decision fatigue, which is where your choices become worse and worse and worse the more choices you make. So, the first thing we're going to do, the very first thing in creating this checklist, and you want to do this the day before, not the day of, the very first thing you want to do is you want to check what you've already committed to, what you've already scheduled, any tasks that you already probably have on your calendar. The reason we're going to do this first is because beyond something being important, beyond something being urgent, we've got to honor our integrity, we've got to honor the commitments that we have set forth before today, before the following day, and make sure that if we told somebody we're going to be somewhere, we are there. We do that first. And so this is all about integrity. This is all about living the life that we say we're going to live into. And so if we've already said, hey, I'm going to see you there tomorrow at noon, that has to be on the checklist before anything else. Now, why? Why don't we fill that in later? Well, if we start filling in all these other tasks that are a little bit more flexible in our schedule, well, then we might have to move that appointment at noon to a different time, or we might have to move what we put in that place to a different location. So we don't want to have to rearrange these tasks at a later point. So step one, we're going to look at our schedule. We're going to see what we already committed to doing on the following day, and we're going to fill that in on our list first. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to get all of the tasks that you have to do out of your head. Whether those are big tasks, small tasks, anything you've got, and it might be a pretty vast list, I understand. What you don't want is you don't want those ideas, those thoughts of what needs to get done popping up throughout your day on the following day. So it's important we write them all down, and what we're gonna do is we're going to prioritize them. We're essentially going to go through this list, and we're gonna say, here's what we're going to be focusing on. We're gonna use something called the Eisenhower Matrix to do that. Now, the Eisenhower Matrix is named after President Eisenhower because apparently he actually used this, but not everybody can prove that this is really something he did on a regular basis. Regardless, it's a very, very popular tool for identifying what you need to get done first versus last, I guess. So it's called the Eisenhower Matrix. It looks like this. It's essentially a graph. So you've got two axes on this graph. One of those axes is stuff that is urgent. This is I apologize for my handwriting right now, but everything on this axis here is going to be urgent items. Everything on this axis here is going to be stuff that is important. This is all important items. And we can break this up into quadrants. So stuff in the top quadrant, farthest quadrant, is going to be stuff that is both important and urgent. Stuff in the bottom left quadrant is going to be stuff that is not important and not urgent. So let's say on my list, I want to binge watch this TV show called Ted Lasso, which you gotta check out. Now this is not important, nor is it urgent. So I can put watching Ted Lasso, I'm gonna put Ted down here in this bottom corner. But I also need to buy dog food. I'm running out of dog food and I've got to make sure the pets get fed. And so I need to go out and buy dog food. Now this isn't necessarily the highest important thing on my list, but it is urgent because the dogs will starve. So I'm gonna put this as high in urgency and low in importance. We'll put dog down here, right? Now I also have to work on my book. Now I am currently writing a book, so that's a true story. This is really important to me. This is a valuable way of me downloading my thoughts and trying to create something great, but it's not really high urgency. If I don't get it done, nobody's gonna be yelling at me about this. I haven't committed to any person in particular. It's not high urgency. So I'm gonna put my book down here in this little quadrant, which is high importance and low urgency. And I also have to pay some employees, which is very important because they need to eat, they need to get stuff done, but it's also urgent. There's a time frame on this. So I'm going to put paying them up in the top quadrant of this. Now, you can also look at these quadrants as priorities, with the high importance and high urgency as a priority 1 project. You could see that the next quadrant, which is going to be really important but not really urgent, we're gonna call that a priority 2 project. We'll say that stuff that is really urgent and not important is going to be a priority 3 project, and stuff that isn't important or urgent is gonna be priority 4 projects. Another way you could look at this is that stuff that is important and urgent, these are your must-dos. These are things that have to get done no matter what. While stuff that is important but not urgent, this little quadrant, this priority 3 section, this is where my heart kind of lives. This is where the dreams and the goals lie. This is where the stuff that you want to get done for you exists. So for me, these are often some of the most important stuff because it often doesn't involve me committing to getting somebody else's goals and dreams done. It involves getting my own goals and dreams done. So whenever possible, I try and focus a lot of energy on priority 2 tasks. Now, the priority 3, that's going to be the stuff that is urgent but is not important. This is stuff that you can probably delegate. So things like ordering dog food. I might go and I might order that dog food online so that it does it by itself. I don't have to go out and get it. I don't have to waste my time doing it, but it gets done, and it gets done in a timely manner. And then the 4th area, the low importance and low urgency, priority 4 stuff, that's stuff that you can defer. So these are must-dos, priority 1. Number 2, priority 2 is gonna be your dreams and your goals. Priority 3, you can probably delegate or outsource that. And priority 4, you're going to delegate that or defer that, give that to somebody else. Now, you've likely gotten ahead of me at this point and you're like, okay, I see where we're going here. We're gonna take all of the priority 1 tasks and we're going to add that to our to-do list. And you're kind of right, but you're getting too far ahead. We're not gonna do that yet. What we're going to do is we're going to take everything that is a priority 1 task, everything that is really urgent and really important, and we are now going to add context to each one of those items. And you might say, well, what is context? What does that mean? Well, context is the where, what, when, and who you need to get that stuff done. So let's say I need to pay my mortgage. Well, I might need to be at a computer and online. So I might need those 2 pieces of context in order to pay my mortgage through the internet, through the online world. Maybe I need to shoot another video like the one I'm shooting right now. Well, to do that, I need to be at my studio. If I wanted to pack for a trip, I might need to be home in order to do that. So those are all areas of context. Another thing, maybe you have a meeting with somebody or you want to tell somebody something. Well, you need that person there for context. Why do context matter? Why is it important to have these little added element to each task? Well, if you know what context is around each task, it lets you do a couple of things. One is it lets you group those tasks together into groups. So let's say you've got a bunch of different priority 1 tasks, but all of them require you to be at your office and on your computer and online. Well, you can put all of those tasks together. So now you've grouped them together, which is going to reduce the amount of time you have to spend transitioning from one task to another task. It's going to make you way more efficient. It also helps you put things in sequence. Let's say you need to go to a grocery store, but you also have to go to work and you've got to go to the gym. Well, now you know there's a few different tasks that are going to require errands. So you know while you're driving maybe from work to home, you might want to stop by the grocery store. So you know that you can put that item, that task item, at a certain point in your day. It helps you create the right sequence for your day. So the next step, we're going to take everything that is priority 1, and if you're a ninja at this, priority 2 tasks as well, because those are, to me, are the most important. And we're going to add context. That again is who you need there, where it's going to be, what is required to get it done, or when it needs to be done. So if I wanted to shoot a video during sunrise, well, if I want that sunrise in the video, it means I already know what time I have to do it at. So those are the criteria for context. You're gonna add context to each one of those tasks that you have, priority 1 or priority 2. Okay, so now are you gonna put these priorities and these tasks on your list? You've got them prioritized, you've got the context added to them. Is it time to put them on the list? Well, not yet, there's still more to do. What we still have to do is we need to add a duration for each item. For each task, we need to figure out how long it's going to take to get that done. Why do you ask? Why would you need to know how long it's going to take to get each task done? Well, there's a thing called Parkinson's Law. And what it states is that your work is going to expand to fill whatever time you allow it. So if you give yourself all day to get your dishes done, guess how long it's going to take to get your dishes done? It's going to take you all day. On the other hand, if you give yourself 5 minutes to get it done, you'll get it done in 5 minutes. I know it seems insane, but it works. So you want to actually set up those constraints before you start adding them to your list. It's also important because you'll know how many things you can add to your to-do list for the following day. Now, what if you don't know how long tasks are going to take? That's really, really normal and something that happens a lot more when you're starting this process than when you've done it a long time. One of the benefits of doing this for a long time is you learn how efficient you are at particular tasks and where your shortcomings are. So you'll be able to better estimate how efficient you become and how long things are going to take for you to do. But if you don't know how long a task is going to take for you to do, add a little bit of extra time. Make a guess and then put a little extra time on both sides to buffer. This is called time blocking, and it's something that Elon Musk does regularly. He blocks off every little 5-minute section of his day so that he knows what's going to happen in each one, but it also gives him a little bit of buffer time in there. So if you don't know how long it's going to take, block off the time. That's it. So we've created the list, we've prioritized the list, so we know what needs to get done, we know what's important to get done and urgent to get done, we know where it needs to get done, when it needs to get done, what we need for it to be done, that's called context, and now we know how long we're giving ourselves to get each thing done. Let's move on to the next part. Okay, now we are going to start adding these items to our list. So we did all the pre-work, we're gonna start listing them out between the stuff that we've already previously scheduled. So these have to fit in between those areas. So if we know that something's gonna take too much time for us to make it between one meeting and another meeting, it can't fit there, we're gonna put it somewhere else. So we're gonna start filling in our list with all of these items, making sure that we put them in order that will meet the context of each item and that fits between our existing commitments. We also wanna make sure that we include transition time. That might mean driving from one place to another, or transportation. It might mean that there's setup or something else involved. We wanna make sure that we put in a little extra time for everything else. We don't wanna have our day so packed that there's no possible way to achieve it, or if somebody walks through our door and says, hey, do you have a moment? That we can't take that moment for them. So we wanna make sure that there's enough time for transitions in there. And then hopefully, if you have the ability, we don't only wanna add priority 1 tasks. If we can, we want to add priority 2 tasks because we want to chase after those dreams. We want to turn those dreams into goals. We want to accomplish those things. And if you're looking at your to-do list and you're like, there's no way I can put priority 2 tasks in here. I've just got way too much on my list. Well, if that's the case, well, this might be a message from life to tell you that you might be saying yes to too many things. Maybe it's time you say no to people that are asking you to get certain things done that aren't important to you. If it's not a hell yes, it's probably a hell no. So it's okay to say no to tasks until you're doing stuff for yourself, because ultimately this is your life and you've got to make sure that you're accomplishing the things that bring you joy and you juice and you love and you passion. So get all that stuff done. Say no to a few things until you can start adding in priority 2 tasks onto your list. Now, we are not done yet. Just because you've created the list doesn't mean we're finished. Because here's the thing, if you create a nice long list and everything fits in there perfectly, it means you've got a lot to do the following day. You should be pretty amped up about it, but it also means that something could happen. Maybe there's a car accident on the way to work and it sets you behind. Who knows? Something might happen that prevents you from achieving everything that you wanted to in that day. And we need to define what winning a day looks like, because you don't want to go home that night and feel like a failure because you missed 1 out of 20 tasks that you wanted to accomplish. So what we're going to do is we're going to identify what I like to call a hero task. Some people call it their highlighted task of the day, but we want to find one thing on our list that is the most important thing for us to achieve that day. So no matter what happens, no matter what the incident, we're going to make sure that is accomplished before we go to sleep. Everything else, becomes tertiary, I think is the word. But the hero task has to get done. We're also going to create 3 to 5 other tasks that we're gonna call our tentpole tasks. These are going to be the big markers in our day. Now, we don't want them all clumped together. We want other tasks in between them because the transition time is going to be important. And if all of the tentpole tasks are in one tight little section, our likelihood of accomplishing all of them goes way, way down. But we want these priority tasks. So one being the hero task, the other being the tentpole tasks. Hero task is just one thing per day. Tentpole task is between 3 to 5 different tasks per day. And these are so that we can help gamify our day. Gamification is just a way of making the day fun. It's making us feel great about what we've accomplished and finding opportunities to reward ourselves whenever possible. So, if we don't accomplish our hero task for the day, 0 points. No win whatsoever. Even if we accomplish everything else, if we didn't get the hero task done, 0 points. That's why it's important that we choose our hero task carefully, because we're creating a point system and we want to win, right? We want to get all the points we can possibly get. So hero task, if we do accomplish it, is worth 1 point. So 1 point for a hero task. Then if we get all of our tentpole tasks done, that's worth 2 points. If we get all of our tasks done, that's worth 3 points. Now, full transparency, I rarely get all of my tasks done. And you might be saying, well, what do you do with all of these points? Well, I've got a little bowl full of marbles at my house. And every time, at the end of every day, I put either 1, 2, or 3 marbles into that bowl, representing how many points I got for the day. When the bowl is filled with marbles, I reward myself. Now, for me, that is, I take a full day off. I just have a good time, I relax, I do whatever I want. Now I can do the priority 4 stuff. Now I am watching Ted Lasso ad nauseum, I'm binge watching, or I'm eating junk food, or I'm doing something that's an absolute waste of time. I'm taking a day off because you know what? I've crushed it and I deserve it. So in gamifying my days, it becomes a fun process. And that's the gamification I use. You can create your own. And if you do create your own, please comment below on how you choose to gamify your day, because I want to learn skills from you too. This isn't a one-way street. You can teach me too. Now, I mentioned during the Eisenhower Matrix section earlier in the video that there are these particular tasks that are tier 3. This is stuff that is urgent, but it's not important. And so those are the tasks that you want to automate. Now, how do you automate your scheduling? That seems kind of weird. Now, I mentioned that you could outsource some of your jobs and you can get some of that stuff done that way, but scheduling's a little tricky to automate, even though it needs to get done. But there are services that solve this problem for people. One's called Doodly, another one is called Acuity, and the last one is called Calendly. And Calendly, which is hard to say, maybe even harder to spell, offers a free tier. The other two don't offer free tiers, but Calendly does offer a free tier. And what this will let you do is you can essentially send a link to people. Hey, they're like, I want some of your time. Can I meet with you? You can send them a link and they will say, hey, here's the available times that Tyus has available to him to meet with somebody else. So ahead of time, I can put in my week, I'm willing to let other people fill in these time slots with whatever they need done. And that's a way of giving them your time. It's a way of contributing to other people. It sends them that link. You don't have to negotiate times. They can pick the one that works for them and it automatically gets added to your calendar. It's a fantastic way of automating your scheduling. Don't forget that your time is 100% your choice. You get to set what priorities, what matters to you, what you want to get done. Right now, you're doing what you prioritize most because you could be doing something else. You could be working out. You could be hanging out with friends. You could be cleaning. It doesn't matter. Whatever you're choosing to do, it means that that is the #1 priority for you. So ultimately, your time is always under your control. Now, you might have a job. Those are your commitments. Those are the things you've agreed to get done, but it's because you've decided to do that. All of this is under your control. Now, Richard Branson, the guy that owns like Virgin Airlines and Virgin Casino here in town, he said, remember the to-do list. He's big on to-do lists, but he said, don't forget the to-be list. What he means by that is it's important to get a lot done. It's important to accomplish what you want to accomplish in life, but don't do so at the detriment of your identity. The purpose of getting things done is so that you can be the person you want to be. And you ultimately are what you choose to do most. It's important not to lose yourself in productivity. being too busy is actually a form of laziness because a lot of people will use it as an excuse to not focus on the things that matter most. If you're getting value out of these videos that I'm producing, please hit the subscribe button and share this content with somebody who might find it valuable or might enjoy it, or just throw it on your social media because, you know, you'll make me happy, I guess, in the process, and it'll help grow this audience that I'm trying to grow, and it'll motivate me to make more videos with even more content, more crazy information in them. So I hope to see you on the next video. Bye-bye. Okay, so lights are set up. Check on that. I've got audio rolling. Check there. Memory cards are formatted. And I've got them running, and I just have to take the cap off this pen, I guess, and I'm good to go.